what I wanted to ask you to do today is, if you will, I want you to unmute and I want you to jump in. I want to talk about problems, issues, psychoses, demons inside our brains. What is going on inside your head? Or what problems or objections are you running into? You're just not quite sure what to do about it. You feel a tad stuck. So, who would like to start us off this morning? Jessica Fisher, thank you so much for volunteering. Unmute for me, and what is going on inside that head of yours today?
So I have someone that reached out to me yesterday, and this kind of goes to the 8 a.m. practice of uh, objections. And they told me that they wanted to wait through the winter to see if the economic collapse happens and wait till spring.
Economic collapse.
Yes.
Is that their words or yours?
Theirs.
Okay, great. So, that's great. Just a little show of hands here. Who's run into a prospect who makes economic predictions like that? Anybody? Okay. So, a very dramatic thing to say, economic collapse. And here's what I'm going to encourage you to do when you run into people with strong worldviews. Now, you can do this at work. I do it in my personal life too. There's an old saying that's out there. It says, don't wrestle with pigs. You both get muddy, but the pig likes it. Okay. Whether you see it on Facebook or you run into it in conversations in your personal life, these people with strong worldviews, and they are espousing them all the time, whatever it is, whether it's politics or it's economics like this, or it's virus stuff. Look, I can have an opinion. I can have a worldview about something. Why do I feel the need to push it at everybody all the time? Like, I don't really know either. But I do know this. I'm not arguing with these people. I'm not going to wrestle with pigs. Jessica, if you say we're going to have economic collapse this winter, or you want to wait and see if we do, I would say something like this. Oh my gosh. Well, I would guess that if we do have economic collapse this winter, you probably won't want to or be in a position to buy a home next spring. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that that's likely?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hey, what kind of indicators should I keep an eye out for to let me know that that's going to happen?
As the customer, is supposed to let you know?
Yeah, we're just role playing right now. What would be some indicators to tell me that that's going to, I'm just fascinated. What would be some leading indicators that would say that that's starting to happen?
I guess
So you don't really
prices
know.
go. I'm sure they have their reasons. I don't know their
Well,
reasons.
okay, make something up.
Um, Prices declining, interest rates going up. You never know what's going to happen with the virus. China, plethora of reasons, I'm sure.
Okay, good. So you think that these are possible or likely?
Possible going into likely,
Okay.
but not for sure. They just I want to hold off until I know.
Okay, good. And if that was to happen, in your opinion, where would interest rates move to?
Probably 3.5.
Okay. Now watch, here's a key phrase. I want to encourage all of you to adopt this. Okay. Okay. So Jessica, okay, good. No, fully get you. I would never want you to do anything that made you feel uncomfortable. So why don't we do this? Why don't we watch the market and see where it goes through the winter? Okay. And we'll see when you feel the most comfortable with buying the next home. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Hey, in the meantime, if I was to see something that I thought might be interesting to you? Would it be okay if I shared it with you?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me ask you to go ahead and mute because somebody's got a loud talker sitting around them. So either walk over there and smack them or just mute yourself. Okay. Thank you. I don't know who that was, but
Linear.
Lanier, shut up. Use your indoor voice. Okay. Just go along with them. Look, I'm not going to change Jessica's mind. I'm not. When do you ever make that happen? In your life, who's the last person who you ever got them to go, oh, you know what? I might not have been right about that. I don't know about you. Nobody for me. I'm not getting anybody to change their opinion about anything. So why try? Why wrestle with pigs? You know, some of these people have all these opinions that they've formulated. And I always want to say to them, you'll know when it's my last week. When I'm about to retire and quit, you'll know. I won't have to tell you because I'll start saying things out loud that I've always wanted to. Like, Jessica, who the hell are you? What makes you think you know what's going on? When did you get so smart? Right? All these people walking around this planet with all these opinions. Who are you? What information do you have? Well, I think Biden's a genius or an idiot. How do you know? Have you ever met the man? You don't know. And by the way, what macroeconomics degree do you have? You don't. I just read Facebook and I know. I watch Fox News and it tells me everything. Right. I can't wait till my last week. I'm going to start saying all these things that I think, but I don't say because I'm not going to wrestle with pigs. I never engage on Facebook posts, never. I see the most crazy stuff being put out there. All these conspiracy theories, right? There's mind controlled drugs in the virus shot. Hey, I don't know if there are or not. Well, how do you know? Well, I researched it. So I said this to my mom. It's the only person I would say it to because she does this. Well, I researched it. We're not going to get the shot because like you, what does you researched it mean? Well, online. I'm like, what medical school did you go to? Well, you don't have to go to medical school to be educated. I'm like, Mom, you wouldn't know the truth if it smacked you right in the face. How would you know if the research you're looking at is valid or not? How would you know? Here's how she knows. Because she's a Fox News whack job and sits inside her house and watches Fox News from morning to night. And if anybody on Fox News says it, it's the word right out of Jesus's mouth. And if somebody on CNN says it, it's the word out of the devil's mouth. And I just keep going, wow, I wish life was that simple. These people are all good and these people are all bad. You don't know these people. Okay. Don't wrestle with pigs. When people give you crazy, wacky worldviews on that, don't argue with them. Don't try to change their mind. Just go along with them. You want to wait till next spring? You have your crazy conspiracy theory reasons why? Good. Hey, you know what the good news is? I'll want to sell homes next spring too. Hold on a second. Here's our problem. We don't want to think about next spring. We want to think about October and November. I want sales now. You, my little chickadee, Jessica, if that's you, you're in the wrong business. And the reason why you don't have everything you want right now is because 4 to 6 months ago, you weren't doing the right things. If you had been, October would be a pretty cool month. You'd have 5 to 7 closings this month. And then you would be naturally very patient with people. No, that's fine. I don't really need another deal in October anyhow. When do you want to buy? Next spring after the world falls apart? Would you really want to buy a house after the world falls apart? But okay, that's great. Hey, you know what? Let's do that. I don't care. Why? I'm full. I don't know if I could really handle another closing right now anyhow. Why? Because 4 to 6 months ago, I was getting my shit done every day. That's why. That's the business that we're in. What can I do to increase closings in October and November? Nothing. Probably nothing. You're asking the wrong question. Well, I don't want to wait till next spring. I don't have great answers for that. I'm not going to lie to you. You're probably not going to do anything today that's going to produce a closing in October and November. That's unlikely. It's not impossible. It's just not probable. Okay. Gosh, I could just sit here all day with just that one thing. Don't wrestle with pigs, folks. Just let them think whatever they want to think. What do you care? Hey, as real estate agents, now Manuela's from Austria, so let's see. She might not agree with this because every time I say this in front of her, she goes, "Well, they're not such great people." But as a real estate agent, Manuela, who am I?
My boss,
No. What country am I?
American.
Oh, I'm Switzerland. As a real estate agent, I'm Switzerland. I'm not taking anybody's side. I'm everybody's best friend. Now go ahead, Manuela. Go ahead. Because every time I say this in front of her, go ahead.
You know, Austria is a neutral country too.
But Switzerland is famous for being a neutral country. They don't get involved in wars. They're neutral. You can agree with that or don't agree with it, but that's their whole take. That's one of the key reasons, there's others, but they become an international banking center. They don't get involved in world politics. They do, but that's how they like to present them. As a real estate agent, I'm Switzerland. Jessica thinks the world's going to collapse. Okay, let's go down that road. Jasmine thinks that the world's not going to collapse. Okay, I go with that. Tracy wants to vote for Trump. Julia wants to vote for Biden. I don't care. Athena wants to take the shot. Marcus doesn't want to take the shot. I don't have opinions. I love everybody. Everybody's right. I go along with whoever I'm talking to. What I personally think's irrelevant. Except in my house. In my house, it's not irrelevant. But with my customers, I don't get into that stuff because I'm not in the business of alienating people. I'm not in the business of trying to make people feel like I'm trying to get them to do something that they don't want to do. So I have little sayings that I just wear out. Jessica, I would never want you to do anything that made you feel uncomfortable. And that's my way of saying I'm completely on your side, honey. Okay. Athena, what demons reside inside your head? Problems, issues, objections that you run into? What's going on?
Basically the same thing that we talked about earlier. The client has had some bad experiences with agents charging them deposits and requiring signing a brokerage agreement. So,
yeah, Athena, I'm so sorry to hear that. It breaks my heart when I hear stories like that because it makes us all look bad, right?
Yeah.
But one bad apple, right? Because you ran into a bad agent before doesn't make all of us bad, does it?
Right.
Right. I would never think of doing that. As a matter of fact, all I want to do with you, I just want to earn your business. All I'm asking for today is a chance to earn your business. And if I don't, you should throw me to the curb. That's what I do.
That's right.
Do you like that?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Steal it. Julia, what's going on inside you? Oh, God, no. You don't have any problems, no issues? Now, you must have like 7 or 8 closings this month then. You do? Okay, well, good for you. Manuela, demons inside your head.
There are so many, I don't even know where to start.
Pick one out of the herd. Let's attack the weakest. We'll be like wildebeest and lions. We'll just attack the weakest demon.
Um, Buyer's objections. Yeah, that's not my weakest demon today. My weakest demon was actually yesterday when I stood up in front of like almost 90 people and I failed to give my elevator speech, which I had practiced for hours the day before. And I was crushed yesterday. So my challenge right now is trying to figure out how to not be afraid of people looking at me.
Good. I can get you over that in 10 seconds.
Bring it on, 10 o'clock. It's a date.
Okay. Everybody, is there anybody on this that is not afraid of public speaking? Athena, you're not afraid of public. You'll get up in front of 1,000 people and talk. No problem. Okay, good for you. Anybody else? Okay, we all are. It's one of the great fears. There's a number of fears, monsters that live under your bed, snakes, spiders. For me, it's rats. If I saw a rat in my house, I'm not calling an exterminator. I'm putting a sign in the front yard. Okay. There's no coming back from that. I'm not spending another day in the house. I have a thing about rats. I'll sleep in a bed of snakes. I got no problem with snakes at all. I'll go lie down with 1,000 snakes. But if I see one rat, I am out of there. So we all have our things, right? Public speaking is a phobia, and almost everybody has it. Everybody except one person on this admits that it raises their heartbeat, makes them feel uncomfortable. Why? Manuel, let's just focus on you. Why did it bother you, do you think?
Well, that may go a little bit deeper than we have time for today, but there's just a lot of people that were looking at me, and I got the feeling that they were judging me, even though I know it's not about me. Tried to make it about them, but when there was so many eyeballs looking at me, I felt like I was put out there to hang up to dry, or whatever you call it.
Good. Okay, will you play a little game with me?
Do it. Yeah.
Okay, everybody else doesn't have to do this, just Manuel. Manuel, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Nothing bad's going to happen to you. Okay. Now I want you to describe the shirt that Jasmine has on.
Jasmine is wearing black.
Okay. And what kind of pants does she have on?
I didn't see that, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. And can you describe her hairstyle?
Absolutely, I can.
Okay, please do.
It's long layers, probably halfway down her back, smooth and very sexy looking.
Okay, good. And is it parted? And if so, where is the part?
I think it's in the center, top center.
Okay. So now describe what I have on today. What color shirt do I have on today?
Blue.
Okay. So open your eyes. So notice that Jasmine does not have a black shirt on, it's gray, and that I do not have a blue shirt on, it's purple. And we've been sitting in front of you for 20 minutes now. Yet, what if I told you that I spent a lot of time this morning picking out what I was going to wear today? Jasmine, did you put some effort into selecting what you were going to wear today?
Not today.
Not today. You just grabbed the first thing that you saw.
Not the first thing I saw. A little bit of effort, but not too much.
So you did put some thought into it. Okay. And what if I told you that I was really trying to look nice today, Manuela? But you don't even notice. You don't even know. Like, purple's my color. Purple's a power color. I look powerful and good today, and you don't even notice.
I want to see a show of hands. Which one? How many of you think that he's wearing blue, looking at him right now? All right.
Okay.
I rest my
I
case.
want to remind everybody, I sign the commission checks that come out of here. So. I'm going want to give all of you a little thing that will help you with stuff like this. It will help you, but you're going to have to believe it's true. The first thing I'll tell you, Manuela, is the reason that you got nervous yesterday is because of your ego. Because you said it to us 3 times. I sat here and counted it each time you said it. I had 1,000 eyes on me. I had 1,000 people paying attention to me, or however many people it was. You didn't say. All these eyes were on me and paying attention to me. And I want to say to you, no, they're not. They're not paying attention to you. They're sitting there, but y'all don't listen to me. I don't think you're listening to me. I think that, especially on Wednesdays, you're sitting there thinking, God, is he going to finish on time? I wanted to go to lunch after this. What did I forget to do this morning? What do I need to do when I get out of here today? I wonder if I've got an email here on my phone. I look out on Wednesdays and half the room's on their phone. I think you're tolerating me, enduring it, but not paying attention. Mm-hmm. If you knew how little people thought about you, you wouldn't care what they thought. Let me say it again, because it is the most true thing I will ever say to you. We've got to get over ourselves. If you knew how little people were thinking about you, you wouldn't care what they think about you. When you internalize this, when you actually come to believe, no, like that's true. Like I believe it's true. I can stand in front of any group of people, any size, and my heart rate does not tick up one least little bit.
Yeah, we're going to be holding.
I think, Manuel, you might be the only one that knows Zoe. Zoe used to work here. She used to have Nicole's job. And I've known Zoe since she was born, and she moved to Europe. But I took her to Dallas with me because I had to go to Dallas and give a talk, and I needed like an administrative assistant because there was going to be 4,000 people there, and I had to give a 60-minute talk. And this is important for all of you, and I'm glad you brought it up, Manuela. So before the event, I'm standing over beside the stage, and Zoe comes up to me and she goes, "Do you have your talk with you? Do you want me to have it loaded in the teleprompter?" I'm like, "No." And she goes, "Well, do you have it somewhere? Do you want me to have it set on the podium for you, or how can I help?" I said, "I need you to be quiet for a few minutes." And she looks at me with big, wide eyes, and she goes, "Tell me that you have something prepared." And I said, "Well, if you'll be quiet for 10 minutes, I'm doing it." She goes, "You're doing it right now?" I said, "Yeah, I'm watching people come in and take their seats, and I'm trying to figure out who's in the room so I'll know what to talk to them about." And she looks at me with shock and terror on her face, and she says this. She says, "That's the most irresponsible thing I've ever seen anybody do. They paid you to come here. They paid all of our travel expenses. You've got to talk for an hour." I'm like, "Zoe, breathe." And she is having an anxiety attack, but I'm going to be the one on stage. I don't know what she's all worked up about, right? I can do this in front of 4,000 people without hardly any preparation because of this. I don't think any of them are really paying that much attention. I used to, and if you're this person, just give me a little alligator arm. I used to have my favorite outfit, right? Like when I wear this blue suit with this shirt and this tie, I look my best. So I save that for special occasions. Does anybody have something like that themselves? The rest of you are a bunch of liars. You do. You have clothes in your closet that you think when you wear those clothes, you look your best. And I'm going to say this to you. You just look like you do every other day of the week. When I see you, when anybody sees you, they go, "Oh, well, there's Manuela. There's Jessica." I could come in here wearing anything within a category, and you wouldn't think I look better or worse. Now, if I came in here in cargo shorts, flip-flops, and a t-shirt, you would notice. If I came in here in a black tuxedo, you would notice, you would wonder in both instances, what's going on? But if I just come in here dressed like in the general category of what I normally do, you just go, well, there's Mike. You might notice, well, he got a haircut, or that looks nice on him today, but then you don't give it another thought the rest of the day. So why do I have my favorite outfit? I don't look any different to you. My ego wants me to believe I do. When I wear that blue suit, I look thinner. I look younger. I look more powerful. I look more dynamic. No, I don't. I just look like me. My ego wants me to believe I can make myself look better if I want to. I really can't. You can't either. It didn't matter what you wore today within an acceptable spectrum. You just look like you. None of you look any different to me today than you do any other day of the week. You don't look better. You don't look worse. And you might say, some of you might say, well, you've complimented me before. I'm just trying, when you look like a professional and sometimes you don't, I'm encouraging you to look more like, I'll say things to you like, Jessica, you look like a real pro today, right? I'm trying to encourage you to look like a real pro every day. But my ego wants me to believe that some days I look better or worse, that everybody's listening to me, that all eyes are on me, that everybody's assessing and judging me. Nope, they're not. They're not. I met a guy one time, I had done everything. I'd taken speech classes. I went down to Georgia State and took a whole semester of speech class, and it was junk. It didn't help one single bit. And I got into Toastmasters, and it doesn't help one single bit. I did a whole bunch of things, and I met a guy one night at a Christmas party, and somehow it was the topic of conversation. And he goes, oh, I can get you over that in 10 seconds. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, but you got to believe it. You probably won't believe it tonight, but when you do believe it, you'll never have a problem with being in front of a group of people again. I go, well, that would be very valuable to me. He goes, well, Mike, it's this. If you knew how little people thought about you, you wouldn't care what they thought. What happens to us is our ego, my ego wants me to believe that y'all are obsessed with me, that you spend almost every waking moment thinking about me, that when you see me, you're judging everything. You don't care one rat's ass about me, and I know it. Now, I don't mean that bad, like you don't care whether I live or die or whether I am good or bad. I just mean that whatever I do within an acceptable spectrum doesn't really resonate with you that much. You're in your own head and you're thinking about this guy, man. He goes, I'll prove it to you. He said, do you go to church? And I said, yeah. He goes, okay. The next time you're driving home you go to church, when you're driving home, play a game with your wife. Ask Jane. So I did. So we're driving home the next Sunday. And I said, Jane, I want to play a game. And she goes, okay. I said, close your eyes. And she goes, no. I said, no, I'm not going to do anything to you. Just close your eyes. Our senior minister's name is Randy. She closed her eyes. I said, would you describe to me what Randy had on today? And she's like, I can't really. I mean, he had pants and a shirt. And I'm like, well, that was a big reach. What color were the pants? She goes, I can't tell you. I'm like, Jane, you just sat in front of the man for an hour. And her words were, I guess I wasn't paying that much attention. I guess I wasn't paying that much attention. I sat there for an hour thinking about a lot of different things. What he had on today isn't one of them. When we feel uncomfortable making videos, we feel uncomfortable making phone calls, we feel uncomfortable reaching out to people, we feel uncomfortable speaking in front of a group of people or networking. Where does this level of discomfort come from? It comes from your ego. You don't want to believe this. We don't want to believe this about ourselves, but it's true. You're arrogant. That's where it comes from. You have the arrogance to believe that everybody's sitting there thinking about you. You don't do that with everybody else. You don't do it. When you're sitting there this morning or on Wednesdays and I'm talking to you, I don't think you're sitting there judging me a lot. I think you're sitting there going, is he going to finish on time? Is he going to shut up? He's already said that 3 times. Can you move on, dude? I know what you're thinking. And it's not about me. It's about you. And everybody on the planet is. They call this the 14-year-old girl syndrome. Okay. It's not to pick on girls, but it is a pretty good example because all of you have been, except for Marcus, all of you have been a 14-year-old girl. 14-year-old girls walk into the cafeteria at lunchtime at their school and they think everybody in the cafeteria is paying attention to them and judging them, what they have. They'll say things, Mom, I can't wear that to school. I can't wear those shoes. Honey, ain't nobody going to pay any attention to what kind of shoes you have on today. Oh, yes, they are. Everybody in the world's analyzing me all the time. That's arrogant. You ain't that important. Manuela, when you internalize this, you got something right now I need to stop. You said 10 o'clock. They're not paying that much attention to you. Don't worry about it. You'll stop caring about what other people think when you realize they don't really think that much except about themselves. My final point to you, because you've got to get this or you're always going to have these hangups. You're not going to do stuff like make videos or make phone calls because you're so freaked out about what other people think about you. They don't think anything about you. Everybody on this planet, everybody, you, me, everybody you know and ever will know is in a struggle for significance. They want to be significant. They want to be credible. They want people to pay attention to them. Great salespeople know that and play to that. You don't have to get people to pay attention to you. You pay attention to them. If you can do that, and it is really hard, it is really hard because you and I are in a struggle for significance too. That's why we want to run on at the mouth and tell people things instead of ask our way there because we want to be significant. I'm the credible expert. You listen to me. I'm going to tell you how this is going to go. Let them tell you and go along with it. Ask your way there. That requires you and I to totally subjugate our egos. And that is brutally hard. But if you ever can figure out how to get your ego under control, it'll make you irresistible to people. We love people who are humble and don't have ego issues, but it's just so few people. And know this as we finish. Because of that, people are easy. Just let them talk. Be fascinated about them. You might be the only person on the planet that ever shows any genuine interest in them at all. Their family doesn't, their spouses don't. They are there to entertain. You are here to entertain me. I never pay any attention to you. If you can get past that and portray sincere interest into the person you're engaging with, you will be immensely attractive to them. You can't help but love something that loves you that much. Or as your mama might have said to you is, honey, if you want to have a friend, be a friend, right? Okay, let's go do it. Thank y'all.